Is Starfield like Star Citizen? Well, if you look at all of the spacefaring exploration of expansive planetary locations and cities in first or third person No, it's not at all like Star Citizen. That's not to say they don't have some noteworthy similarities though. First and foremost, they both have star in the title. That's something, right? Well, that's not all. They also have many years of development under their belts and probably need quite a few more before they're free of bugs. The overlap in these types of bugs is kind of fascinating, with characters clipping through objects, standing in strange places, and wandering creepily into frame at awkward times in both games. And of course, there's the incredible sorcery of objects having their own personal dance parties and living by a set of physics with a dynamic definition. They even both have iconic figureheads at their helms that are scrutinized for every single thing they say and do. Starfield also features large cities full of people just aimlessly wandering around accomplishing nothing, which has been a feature of Star Citizen for quite some time. There's nothing quite like visiting your favorite location and watching people mindlessly stare in random directions before walking to another location to do the same thing. They both also feature several rocky bodies upon which you can land and look at how rocky they are from intimate perspectives. Both games have worlds with more than just rocks though, including plants and trees, some of which can be harvested for resources that are as unique as they are unimportant. And just like Star Citizen, Starfield has ridiculously dark caves you can crawl around in while mining rocks with a hand-wielded mining tool of mysterious functionality. But mysterious functionality is always more appealing than the near non-existent functionality of Star Citizen's map, which is a wonderful feature that happened to migrate to Starfield. While both are acceptable when zoomed out, when it comes to navigating your way on the ground, both Star Citizen and Starfield provide you with up to an astounding 5 to 8% of the things you'd expect from a map. Finally, the most important aspect of any space traveling game is the spaceships, which both Star Citizen and Starfield have in droves, and both feature vehicles with unique interiors you can wander around within and admire the countless blinking lights and buttons with no purpose or functionality except to look like a Star Trek background. However, here is where we face the great divergence between Starfield and Star Citizen. If you're brave enough to conquer this clunky design system, Starfield allows you to customize any ship with modular parts, changing the interior layout, exterior design, and just about all of its capabilities. You can turn your bulbous clunker into a giant phallic monstrosity with an interior featuring a labyrinthian web of hallways full of random junk. Star Citizen, on the other hand, has their giant labyrinthian-hauled ships pre-configured for maximum confusion, and that won't change unless you get some chunks of your ship blown off. Of course, that dynamic damage system is also not a feature in Starfield, which provides one more unique area for bugs to exist in Star Citizen. These ships fill significantly different roles in each game though. With Starfield, when you're not dogfighting around the orbit of a planet, your ship is mostly just a place you go to visit loading screens while traveling between worlds. Yet when they're not randomly exploding, ships in Star Citizen can do a lot more, like salvaging, mining, and letting you enjoy the fun of lugging around physical cargo boxes. You can also skim across the surface of these fully rounded spherical worlds, launch yourself out into the atmosphere, and careen through the buildings of these mostly cosmetic cityscapes, all without a loading screen, unless you count the 30Ks. Starfield also provides the opportunity to build a base complete with mining platforms, storage, habitation, and a host of almost useful features you can waste hours obtaining and investing resources on to give you that feeling of staking your claim on the frontier. Star Citizen is supposed to have that one day, but like many things in this development, we have no idea when it'll show up. Star Citizen continues their uncertain release process with a number of systems available, which is 1. And when compared to Starfield's more than 100, well, the numbers are certainly different. Star Citizen isn't that far from completing the daunting task of doubling those available systems to 2, but the road to its projected 100 is metaphorically obscured by all the volumetric clouds they've put in the game. But volumetric clouds are just one of the many visual elements that separate these two games. While both have some grand-looking vistas and dynamic day-night cycles, Starfield seems to have devoted all of its visual fidelity to things like this tomato and stuck with that classic character design of a creepy doll brought 80% of the way to becoming a real person. One of the biggest differences between Star Citizen and Starfield is the part where one of these games allows you to have a server full of idiots ready to either greatly enhance or totally destroy your ability to have fun in the game. There goes one right now. Yet with these random nerds running around free to inflict their will upon the universe comes the addition of all of those online woes like maintaining a connection, surviving a disconnection, dealing with desync, server FPS that affects everything around you, and of course these savages. But without the need for the infrastructure for those people to intrude on your odyssey through the cosmos, Starfield can focus its resources on hundreds of elaborate quests taking you to every corner of that janky map. You'll spend hours exploring random assortments of buildings and collecting life-altering items for people you just met seconds prior. Star Citizen has plenty of random assortments of buildings and quests to collect a wide variety of garbage, but only a handful involve lengthy quest chains and talking to people inches from their face. Bethesda is the originator, or at least the perpetuator, of this close-talking, head-bobbing communication style and has been doing it for the better part of my life. That design, among many other things, is what makes Starfield far more of a space Fallout or The Elder Stars than anything close to the space sim Star Citizen is working to become. It's a typical Bethesda game with a cool setting, and if you're interested in that, it's pretty enjoyable. But it's definitely not a replacement, competitor, or challenger to Star Citizen. It's truly a case of apples and oranges, which are both fruit, grow on trees, and are vaguely round, but only one costs $600 million.